believe was released in 2000, and Guido von Rossum stepped down from his perch as the oh, what was he? He was the
Honcho.
yeah, he was the honcho, but he was a benevolent dictator for life, is what he was in 2018. And he took a permanent vacation, as he called it. Thought that was pretty cool.
Python, or was he just the? He was
For Python, yeah.
oh,
That when Python 3 came out after he left the team.
3 actually came out before he left, right?
Yeah, I'm not hearing what you're saying over there.
you're wondering what version Python came out after he left, or when left.
2018, it was in the threes.
Okay.
Probably 3.5 or 3.6 at that point. I'm running 3.8 on my machine. So
That current version, pretty close.
it's for my release. I'm running Pop! OS 20.04, which follows Ubuntu 20.04.
Okay.
I like the LTSs.
He didn't show the position.
Oh, he just took a position at Microsoft, according to. Yeah, so evil empire still exists.
So I'm running Python 3.8.5 at the moment,
Okay.
which I think 3.9 is current.
Yeah, probably not a whole lot of variation at that point.
Yeah, it depends. 3.6 saw a lot of new stuff. 3.8 saw a few new things, but yeah, not a huge variation.
They go half versions, like, or is the .5 and .6, .7, or does it actually ratchet up like full 3.9, the 3.95? Some of them have a convention. I don't know what the
Yeah, so the major versions are the 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So 2 to 3 was breaking changes.
Right.
Yeah, 2.7 was the last 2 dot release. That went out of actually that was end of support this past year.
Okay.
So 2020 saw the end of 2.7. The threes are still in support for the most part. Like I said, I think 3.9 is the current. I'm running 3.8 on my machine, and
Well, you rounded up as 9.
Well, there was some conventions with the Linux kernel at one time. Certain numbers were developmental, and then the
Yeah,
other ones were.
even with the production, odd was
Yeah,
developmental.
right. I didn't know if it.
yeah, I'm not sure if they do that or not. Not 100% sure about their versioning.
I remember that one would mean that.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Far, far away galaxy.
I can't type.
There we go.
Okay, so the syntax is a little bit different from a lot of other programming languages. You don't have all the curly brackets and things like in, well, I come from JavaScript, so it's a little bit different than that for me. White space is a major factor.
Oh,
So if you go with a function,
okay, like C. Somewhat.
you have to have the tab in there, or else it gives you an error.
Oh,
And again, in the space,
has to be a tab.
but it does, but the premise behind it is readability. It's,
Yeah, well, yeah.
instead of it being for the computer, it's for you.
Yeah.
Or the guy can find you.
That helps.
So it's either a tab or it's spaces, and it has to be consistent within the same code block.
Good news is though, you can have a thing that you lint it. There are linters, so that it takes care of that.
Oh,
Document,
lentil.
don't need to think of documentation.
Lint.
Or then don't read that.
I missed that.
Yeah, he's got a.
Oh, sorry. It's what I'm saying is that there are linters to take care of the problem of if you were consistent with your white space. And in fact, a lot of people had it built into a lot of.
Oh yeah,
So
Yeah, I use PyCharm, and it pretty much does it all for me. I'm super lazy, so
So if you cut a section of a subroutine out, paste it in another subroutine, you gotta know, you gotta get the indenting right, or it means a different thing, right?
I don't know.
yes, it does. Yeah, absolutely.
So the indents, that reminds me of Fortran.
Yeah,
I did that too.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that either.
Like no braces, and I had a picture of like a row of braces.
Yeah.
But it's that kind of thing. But at first it was a real, those of us who were pro moms were like, what's that? How am I supposed to play pro golf and something like that? But what it's meant is people can actually teach with their code, like. And it also made things like Jupyter and notebooks much more easy to work with because you can see the code every time, and it would even say, "That's got to miss a bit, but that's red and green lights." So yeah, it makes parsing very simple.
I'm gonna see if I can jack up the microphone gain here for you.
Yeah, I can hear you, Rick. It's just everybody beyond you is just kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, I know. It's I'm sitting right next to the computer and they're at a table away.
well, I took my mic off so I can hear my irreverent marks.
Well, he's loud, so I can hear him.
All right, that's fine. All right.
All right.
Oh, BI.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Oh, can't do the plus or minus thing like I did. All right, can everybody see what I'm doing?
can you expand that screen? It's still
It's
pretty.
ex- it's full screen.
Maybe I lost.
Does it need to be bigger?
Yeah, before whatever you had done to expand the. Oh, it was that one window. Did I lose that window, or is it on his side? Okay. There you go.
Order your copy of the Milk Street Cookbook for $23.95, 40% less than other drinks, and receive a
Whoa,
milk with your order at
who's that?
Milk 1 or order online. Funding for this series was provided by the following. Ferguson's
How do I get out of this? I'm
and culinary crusaders everywhere. For more information on our extensive collection of kitchen products, we're on the web at fergusonshowrooms.com. Cooking happens in the kitchen, but life happens around the kitchen table. The 1919
is there a
collection
commercial on?
and tomorrow. Visit us at www.
Let's just do this.
For 25 years, Computer Cellular has been offering no contract wireless plans designed to help
Okay, so
Oh, that was Terry, I think. No.
oh, he finally got his audio going, huh?
All right. And I'm gonna. Oops.
All right, so comments start with a pound. That's a comment. Variables are simple. It's just and you define the variable.
Comments is comment pound sign in a lot of languages, especially.
Yeah, it is. It depends on the language. I think PHP is different, and you can do it. Yeah, I've seen different versions of comments in different languages, but
Right,
yeah, that's pretty standard.
right.
You can also do triple quotes, and it also saves your formatting.
What am I
You see
missing?
the participants, I think 6 of
What's
them,
a triple quotes tell the system?
that error. Drop it down.
Ah, there it is. Couldn't figure out how to close that damn thing.
So it saves the formatting, and it's also used for doc strings. if I get that far, we will cover that later for functions and classes. It's used for documentation, and you can
Right.
also use them for variables. So let's say var2 is equal to
Bam.
do single quote.
There's a button
Which
right there.
gives you full,
Triple single quotes also?
Yep.
right there.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And it'll save the formatting. Oh, I mean, it'll save the line breaks anyway.
Is it, on the line breaks, is it carriage return line feed or just line feed?
It's slash new line is how it is how you feed it.
Okay. I believe that's
Slash
similar
n.
to, I think that's similar to Visual Basic.
Yeah, I think so. It's like you see up here, like slash n. This is one line. Slash n. This is
Right.
two line. Yeah. And variable names can be complete words, can have underscores, can begin with underscores. I don't think they can begin with numbers, and they are case sensitive. Yeah, they cannot start with numbers. And they cannot have spaces or hyphens. You can assign multiple values and blah blah blah. And the operators are pretty much standard operators. Oops. It doesn't matter. 5 plus 3 is 8. So that's addition. It's also concatenation if you're working with strings. So
Yeah, one of the interesting features with Python is unlike, say, languages where a default object might be a string, with Python default object is actually a set. So that's what they call a dictionary. And so that it's everything becomes related as right there.
what's that?
I see. So it concatenated the strings with just a
Plus sign.
plus sign in between the strings. So it doesn't need any special operators to tell you're working on strings other than being a string.
Yeah, it's very much like JavaScript or PHP in that sense.
Yeah, the only thing you don't have to do is say full.
Oh,
And you have the basic arithmetic operators, the plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, exponentiation, and floor division. And then the assignment operators, you have equals, which is assigning a variable. Then you have the plus equals, which is, adding, and minus equals, which is subtracting. The
Increment.
list goes on and on and on. I have a whole bunch and I have a whole list in PyCharm, but I don't think you guys are seeing that very well. I think they're pretty standard, the operators. So I'm going to move on. So lists is a thing. Lists are fun. They start with a square bracket. I think I misspelled banana.
yeah, it's easy to screw up. That's what I have spell checker for.
So that is a list. That's the basic, that's what you're going to use as an array. in other languages. And that has that's pretty simple and pretty basic. There are also tuples, dictionaries, and sets. I've never worked with anything other than a dictionary and a list.
Tuple for folks is that once you create it, that's it, it doesn't matter or lose memories. So it means that you treat it the way you would like stack.
And I can't type. I don't know why I can't type. So there's the list. I'll get back to list comprehensions in a bit. That's a really cool feature of the language. I don't know if it exists in many other languages, but I think it's really cool. Tuples are like lists. So, okay, so a list is, you can store multiple items. It doesn't matter the order. And you can have duplicates. They're ordered, they're changeable, and you can have duplicates. Tuples are different. It's ordered, but it's unchangeable. You can't modify a tuple unless you create a new tuple. A set is unordered and unindexed, and I've never used one, honestly, so I really can't speak to it much. And a dictionary is kind of like in Python, an object. It uses curly brackets. And it's a key pair kind of thing here. So you're going to use, let's do a car. Let's do the brand.
Colons are separators.
Yes.
So dictionaries use colons for separators versus everything else uses commas. Is that,
Well, what you're separate,
The comma separates the key pair.
yeah, think of it like a ratio.
oh, okay.
But could you string them right next to each other using the comma to separate the key pair?
You can, yeah. I just like to separate them on different lines to keep it nice looking.
Just making sure.
Keeping readability, you can put them right next to each other, yes.
Okay.
But part of the whole Python thing is readability,
Yeah.
and separating on them on different lines adds to that. So that's kind of that's my thing. All right, so that's a dictionary, and pretty simple. And then you have the conditionals, the if else and the elif, and so if you have I don't
Case
know,
statements.
what's that?
Case statements.
Case. Yeah, I don't know if I've worked with case in Python. I
Okay.
have in JavaScript.
How do you do a multiple selection then?
Well, let me find.
Because if then is only going to be like three selections.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, show them how to call out items within the dictionary.
What's that?
How do you access the dictionary?
I know that's how you like the question going around about getting easy values.
So how do you access the individual items within the dictionary? Guess the question.
Oh, it's indexed. So, oh, and I've screwed it up.
Wrong answer.
Let's print the whole thing.
I see. And then you can like query for brand or for other things within that. Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, right, it uses that.
Okay.
Ah, did I fat finger it? No, anyway, that's how it's supposed to happen, but I probably fat fingered it.
Pick one where value is
Where value.
What's that?
something like that. I know that it's, you do aware, I think it's like a secret where it's where. I have to.
Where?
It's gonna, you're trying to pull the.
Polar. Year.
Didn't I? Anyway, that should be how you do it.
They can do it, like pick one and
Oh,
what the name of the string, like, so pick one and then brand. Gotta use the square brackets. Yeah,
Oh, instead of the dot?
yeah, instead of that, you gotta use the square brackets.
Instead of the dot, try a square bracket, you're saying?
yeah, I tried that.
In quotes.
In
Yeah,
quotes?
put the
Try
name
those out
of the
quotes.
key in quotes. Yeah, square brackets and then the name of the key in quotes.
Oh,
yeah, like
there
that.
he just, David put it up.
There,
No, that's bizarre.
Oh, yeah, we were calling. Oh, right, the
Brand.
screen, yeah, it's great, it's because, one of the big changes to 2 and 3 is that you, print is now a function rather than kind of,
Built in.
yeah, it's a little different, and so, but it's made its response. And then since 3.6, they got it.
Okay, here I got it.
Correct. Okay. Oops.
Sorry, I can't type. Okay, so that's how you call it.
So you put in bracket the string name
The key.
key. Yeah.
Computer is the way you work.
Sorry, I was falling back to JavaScript.
Oh, okay.
You use a dot notation in JavaScript. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, that's more like C++.
A lot of similarities,
Yeah. Well, I haven't worked with Java either. So that
I've never done Java.
Yeah.
I said, you're so wrong. So I cut my teeth on back when I was in college.
Mm.
All this scared me when programming my life.
Oh yeah, Java.
More so the professors. That's usually the case. You were banned from getting help. You asked anybody other than him.
Ooh.
Banned.
That's nasty.
And he had no idea what he was doing.
No, I've got Fox like that.
Started out on Fortran, COBOL.
I started off, I started with the machine code on the PDP-8.
Yeah.
We didn't even have assembly. Hint to hint assembly.
Okay, and that's how you assign. If you want to change one of them. One of the values, you can just assign it.
Okay. Your Mustang. Okay, so the model. So everything's a string in dictionary.
Well, no, actually, the year is actually an integer.
Oh, it is. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
That was assigned as an int,
Mhm.
but I haven't gotten to types yet, and types are dynamic in Python, so they're
You don't have
kind of interpreted on the fly.
you don't have to assign it beforehand.
No. Let's see,
So when you do like what would be a long to a int, would it handle all the conversions?
Yeah, because it's such a lesser type than the problem comes actually with the different level of Python, which is MicroPython, which is practically storage.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In regular Python, it doesn't even think about it. It just like everything is a list.
Oh, I see.
So like things would be like, oh yeah, your thing is a variable, it's a list with numbers.
Mhm.
So it doesn't care everything down the string.
Yeah.
It does have the addressing of numbers in the string because of things like how you want to process regex versus you're still on regex.
so I don't know what you just said, but yeah, you can get the type from using the type method. Like I shown here, type dict1 year is an int. There's also the float. There's also a string. There's many different types. There is a catch when you take user input.
Assign the type or cast it.
In taking user input is always defaulted as a string. So if you want to change the user input from a string to like an integer or a float, you have to change that after the fact. So it shows var2 as a string, even though I typed a number. So in order to change that to a number, you have to explicitly change that. So let's say, man, I am not used to this keyboard.
Cup spring. Oh yeah, cup spring is kind of dead in the water.
So now it's an integer. And that is showing an integer, not a string. So there's that. All right. So where was I? I lost my place.
So you can convert back and forth between either make a variable a string or an integer or
A var or there are different numbers. There's a complex if you want to use scientific notation. I've never done that. I've only used integers or floats, but
yeah, that was
you can use the weird ones if you want.
scientific notation. That was the strength of Fortran. That was by default. Didn't have that built in.
Okay, so if else statements. Typical if else statement. Yeah, it's
Thanks.
typical.
Thanks, Fubar.
Right. And the indentation is, well, I'm using IPython, so the indentation is done automatically here. There's also the elif and the else, pretty much similar to any of the C languages.
Is there logical operators?
Yes, there are logical operators. Let me find those. And okay, so you can use and, or, not. These comparison operators like, whoops, equals A is equal to B.
It's always
I've
double.
already assigned those so that it would be false. So A is not equal to B, you know, that kind of thing. True.
So it's always a paired.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna assign something or compare something, you're gonna need a pair.
Right.
You have the typical loops, you have the if loop, you have the while loop, you have the for loop. Let me,
Can you use the greater than and less than?
yeah, sure. If I could type.
A new keyboard, new laptop?
Yes, it's a new keyboard. I got one from work.
Oh. You're just talking about keyboards a while ago, the old IBM mechanical quick ones. What was that, 5150 or 5100 something?
So there's a basic if statement. A is less than B. And I've used the less than operator. And a
Right.
greater than operator is just the other way around. Pretty much the same as any of the other language I've known. I apologize. I've only known higher level languages. I don't know C or C++. I've only worked with JavaScript, Python, and PHP. So this is only from my experience.
Sean, since you were using the print statement, I posted some information about cups. And our FUBAR admin indicated that it's been forked.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I heard that Apple dropped the they used to employ the maintainer for cups, and they have since stopped employing him. So I'm kind of not surprised that it's been forked.
Yeah, his name was Michael Sweet.
Very cool.
And he left Apple in 2019.
Okay. Wow, was that long ago? Feels like it was
Yeah.
more recent. Very cool.
Always fighting for engineers out in Silicon Valley with Tesla and everybody else. Ongoing battle.
Terry's resting his eyes.
I'm boring that much, huh? All right, I'll move on to functions. Since we're yeah, what time is it? Yeah, it's 10 till.
Right.
I'll move on to functions, and we'll see how far we get. So a function is defined with the def keyword,
Right.
and then you call your function whatever you want to call it. And you give it to brackets and the colon, and then you go to the next line and then a tab or spaces, however you want to do it.
Mhm.
Tab is preferred by PEP8, which is the stylizing PEP for Python. If you like spaces, do whatever you want, but Python prefers tabs. Pass is what you use to make a function do nothing. It's just to create the function and not actually make it do anything. It's the same thing with classes.
Making it a placeholder.
Right, exactly. So let's do this. Let's create a function. Let's call it a hi. Oops, I don't want to give it an argument. And we'll, yeah, I actually spelled that correctly. And we'll call the function and it'll print the thing we wanted to.
Right.
It's very similar to many of the other, like all of the other languages I've done,
Right.
minus the colon. See that? Yeah, the colon is the thing here. It's the same thing with classes in Python. Instead of curly brackets, you just get the colon and white space.
Hmm.
But the calling is the same. Let's give it an argument. Say
Dude.
can't even spell my own damn name.
Yeah, I think that keyboard isn't helping you too much.
Yeah, I know, right?
Boy, need some macros on that thing.
Or I've had too many beers, one or the other.
Yeah,
Hey,
good to have something to do
hey,
with it.
if you can drink and go. I'll take yours.
So there you go.
Dude.
There you go. So you got to attach the name and the first print function.
So there's a function with an argument.
Mm-hmm. Function 2, I see. So
And then you use it below.
yeah, and you're basically then passing to the function the first variable, which is name, and then it completes the print function with the added new to it.
Yeah, just concatenating the argument with the string.
Mhm.
So
Function always ends in a semicolon to define.
yeah, function always ends in a semicolon when you're creating the function, correct? Same with classes.
Oh, all right. Is there anything that ends? How do you end the function? Stop indent?
How do you end the function?
Yeah, I mean when you just by breaking that.
Technically, you don't have to return.
By breaking the white space, yeah.
Okay.
See here you have the print, and then you have a blank line.
Okay.
And that you've broken the white space there, and that ends the function. Normally, in a lot of other languages, you have like a curly brace,
Right.
and then another curly brace to end the function.
The,
But here it's just white space.
the other thing people tend to do is if you're going to have a bunch of functions, they have to
Really wish PyCharm would work.
2 spaces,
two
two character trees.
with the introduction.
Oh, I see.
Mostly it's easy.
Visual, yeah.
I forget if that's a cafe or if it's.
I think it's better.
Sean, what editor are you using, or are you?
I'm using IPython.
Okay.
It's a command line. All right. Can you see what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
Is it too small?
Mm, bit.
Yeah, it's too small at that point.
It won't let me expand it. All right, hold on. Let me just go to code.
There you
Can
go.
you see what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
Where are you
Okay.
font size at?
All right. So, oh, what am I doing here? Which project is this? Okay, so this is one of my Flask projects. That's not what I wanted to show you, but that's a thing. This is Python and Flask. So this is the, I don't know if I didn't tell you about imports yet, but this is how you import modules in Python. If you want to import just a class, you would say from your module, import your class. So from the Flask module, you import your Flask class. Same thing from config in SQL Alchemy, Flask migrate. There are differences and weird things that happen in Flask though, so I don't want to get too deep into that. So let me open a different workspace.
Are you required to use Visual Studio?
VS Code? No, you can use whatever editor you want. You could use anything, honestly. Any text editor will work. VS Code is something I've used. I typically use it for JavaScript and web development stuff. I typically go with PyCharm for my Python stuff though, because it works better with it gives me fewer errors or linting errors with SQL Alchemy.
Right, because it's set up as an IDE.
Right. Okay, where was I?
I don't know if Nick or anybody else would agree with this statement, but from the years I keep hearing younger people who graduate from college and they've been using Visual Studio for all their code generation.
Yeah, VS Code is really nice though.
Is that across all platforms or just?
Yeah, they have a version for Linux also.
Okay.
But if you're going to be in Linux, I'd rather use VI or or Emacs, as somebody else was saying.
You can do a Emacs,
I often
Emacs,
like,
huh?
well,
Space
Space Map.
yeah,
I haven't heard of
it's
that.
a whole new permutation. But, like I do a lot of my script work.
Yeah.
But the advantage of using an IDE, you've got the chance, and you can, most IDEs will have a VI or Emacs mode for the editing section to keep your productivity high. Is that you've also got the ability to step through the problems.
Yeah.
Especially with interpreted language, you have others and part of,
Yeah.
oh my God, here, that's why I'm off. Having that is an important teacher. You may not do it all the time, but your first year, oh yeah. And then when you're at work, it also expedites this. Here, suddenly thinking like, why is this going to, there it is.
Yeah.
So
see
those
the-
values, linking the scene, making sure that for larger projects, like seeing, it's like, is the make file actually called? Actually, usually it's make.
Yeah.
Okay, so from what I caught of that, it sounded like it was interesting and relevant, but I didn't catch all of it.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're basically talking about being in a IDE where it does a lot of the checking for you and make sure that things are defined and basically, if something doesn't work, it can walk you through the problem a little bit easier, highlight things for you as you go along.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. I'm super lazy and I like it when I can do tab completion and it gives me a list of things to choose from when I'm using dot notation and things like that. It's very convenient.
Yeah, it's one nice thing about like the Arduino environment, versus just, hand coding and compiling to C, because there's not much checking when you're just working in an editor. It has no idea what it is that you're writing.
unless you're using the VI editor and use a lot of the add-ons.
Oh, yeah. So we want to
That's
talk,
true, it's got a lot of good about it.
yeah. So if someone want to talk about VI add-ons at some point,
Yeah,
that'd be a good topic.
especially considering I've also had a set.
Yeah, does somebody use Vim?
Yeah.
Of course. I actually had the strange pleasure of teaching a Windows-only person how to use Scrape VI on an AIX box that was not set up with any extra features. It was torture. I got him to use it, so I think I learned some credit. But also on the Vim side of things, about there are so many new modules. My thing has been Vim is very has become quite flexible for adding background colors and stuff that people build all sorts of theme templates. And those can be fun. They can also be ugly as heck, but they can be fun. Because it's something you can do even on manual, especially as long as you've got some external, like 256 color set, you'll be able to see colors. And that's pretty useful. Sure, sometime I can do that, but I was actually thinking, unless we have a topic for next month,
Not yet.
I was actually thinking, I had a couple of ideas, and I've got a ton of between employees, that I would either bring in that NetWiner that I have, the original and drive, or possibly try to build a VM of the first Linux distro.
Oh,
Because there are ISOs from the last release of that. And it was a thought that I've had about how to do it. So one or the other of those, and we've got one or the other as a better resource actually. That way we can have a
okay,
conversation.
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to actually get maybe, a few of you guys that are more up to speed than I am, being more part and having been working in the field all that much, to basically be more of the content providers or,
Yeah,
come
that's
up
what I
with.
do.
Yeah, okay. Because I've been out of touch with it for a long time.
I appreciate your- I got the internet.
Well, we've kept this thing running for 25 years, so.
Appreciate you paying the price for the
Yes, that's true.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, it's something I
I don't
use.
know.
Well, I also use it for the Akron Physics Club, which is kind of, so it worked out pretty well because I already had this running for a year and the physics club was kind of wondering if they were going to be able to actually meet in person or not. And I said, we've been doing this, kind of hybrid deal and it's worked out okay. So we've done that we've only had 2 to 3 people show up. So it's kind of, the group is primarily older and more timid about coming out. So, but anyway, it's been working out okay. Eventually things will get back to normal in a few months. So.
Would that be nice?
Yeah. Well, once vaccines get out for old people, then I think they'll be a little bit more interested in getting out of the house. Possibly. I don't know. Some people get content with the status quo.
Well, that last month, Zoom
Yeah,
presentation. That guy was good. That was Chris. Was that Chris?
that was Dave X, I thought,
Okay,
from Red Hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's Dave
that
X.
was good. And doing it
Well,
from
Chris
Zoom,
did the month before that.
and doing it from Zoom.
Yeah.
because I really
Mhm.
love it.
Yeah.
And that worked out real
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, Chris
Your
Cole.
gallery might be different.
Well, I mean, I still people like to get together for dinner, so.
Well, I like food here.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm off track here with you, Sean. But continue on. But yeah, I think I have a list and I'll update it. Maybe what I'll do is have, I think it was like a, not really officers, but like moderators list. And I can put a few of us on that for email list. And that way, we can shoot emails back and forth and not basically be blowing it out to the whole whole list all the time. So that would work out good. So I'll include you on that as well, Sean, if you want,
Sure.
because you've been very helpful in keeping this thing running over the years. So, yeah, that's good. Let's see. I'll see if I can get. Oh yeah, there you go. Built-in operator. Sorry. Go ahead and take it from there. I've been.
Oh, no, this is actually, I covered most of these earlier,
Okay.
but this is actually the markdown document I created
Oh,
to cover most of the built-in operators in Python. As is just being illustrated in VS Code.
oh yeah. Well, it looks like the operator symbol set basically is the same as C.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. It takes a lot from C.
Yeah.
As far as that's concerned.
They use the PowerShell.
Then PowerShell.
Oh, that's. that wall yard.
You get it on Linux now.
Huh?
It's on Linux now.
You would
Early
want it?
Heritage.
Yeah. As long as you can use it.
What was power?
Okay, so
Oh, like,
Shell scripting language.
oh yeah, I never. Really,
what's next?
that's all.
Hey,
All right, from here I would go to doing a simple Python script, but I don't think we have time left. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up.
Okay, we can continue that later if you want, do a carry on, follow up, either pick it up, when we don't have something else going on, or if, maybe work it in before the main topic starts, if you want to do that.
Yeah, if you want, yeah, we can do that because I found a cool Python script that'll monitor a web server and then send an email if it goes down and restart the web server at the same time.
Oh, that'd be good.
So
That work with local and or
Yep.
Oh yeah, it would be out looking at the web server online, so it wouldn't matter where it's at.
So
All right.
yeah, we can do that at another date.
Yeah, no, that'd be good. Yeah, it's always nice to have a few things, kind of, sitting in hold here or ready to go for meetings like tonight where we don't have a whole lot scheduled. I'll maybe get a notice back from that Mel McGee has something going on. I think it's this coming week. There's a 2-day seminar on, heck was it now? It was in LinkedIn. I saw her thing and I sent her a message in LinkedIn, but she didn't get back to me yet. I was seeing it. She wanted to give a preamble, maybe a few minutes at the meeting to kind of promote her Linux talk or Linux 2-day seminar. But anyone, I don't know if I can log in LinkedIn from here. But anyway, she didn't respond. So if you want, check Mel McGee on LinkedIn, and it was something going on. I think it was a virtual seminar of some sort. But actually, Scott has a lot of really good stuff also online, Scott McCarty, and from Red Hat. So you may want to check out some. I'm going to try to get him to present also down the road here on some of the things he's working on, which is was something new that came out Dealing with containers.
I found some of his stuff on YouTube
Yeah,
a while back.
what was I asking about? I saw that also online.
Has anybody heard about a Raspbian fork called Twister?
No, I haven't heard of that. Raspbian fork called Twist.
Yeah.
Huh. So what's
Yeah, it includes, it's in the December issue of Linux format.
oh,
All right.
so what?
It-
How does it behave? Is it looking more like Ubuntu, or is it something completely different?
I think it's a stripped down version. The light.
Well, they're both based on Debian flavor, right?
Oh, are they?
So you have information about it, or shall we be looking this up? I guess is the question.
You have some information on the new fork, or is it a fork or just another distro?
They say it's they took the latest Raspbian 2012
Yeah.
and forked it over and added a lot of other things,
Huh.
such as it comes preloaded with Kodi.
Yeah.
And it has a utility called where is that? PyKiss, which helps you with your configuration and loading software. Plus, it helps you with what is that? Overclocking.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a setup.
Set up where you pick what you want. That's
They
good.
also include what they call Box 86, which is designed for ARM processors to allow you to run other software on it.
Hmm,
x86 software.
that's interesting.
That is.
So is it running in emulation mode, or is it a? Oh, it is. Okay. I'm gonna say that.
Could be a virtual.
Yeah. Oh, it's virtual. Okay. So it actually is running a kernel from like DOS, or is it a Windows type emulation? Or?
I'll post the link through the chat.
Oh, okay.
Then everybody can find out for the what they're interested in.
Okay.
But it looks interesting. Oh, it also has themes where you can make it look like anything from Windows 95 up to Windows 10
Wow.
or Mac OS 10.
Hmm. That's pretty neat. Wonder how slow that would be though on a Pi. Might not be too bad. Their Pi 4 is pretty decent. Yeah. Right. Faster than yeah. I got the 4 gig version at home. I got a 2 gig and a 4 gig version of Pi 4. But all right. Well, I guess that sounds good. I'll hoping Terry gets out of the hospital or nursing home or rehab center, wherever you're at, Terry, and get back with us next time. And looks like he's still muted, so we'll let him hang out there. We're gonna probably cut it because I know they want to clean up and get the restaurant closed here. They're closed at 9 o'clock now. Huh?
10 o'clock curfew. I gotta
10 o'clock curfew. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, actually 9 o'clock the restaurant closes, so we're past closing a little bit. I got packed up.
Take care, guys.
Okay, guys, we'll talk to you all soon, and have a good rest of the month, and hopefully everyone stay healthy until next month. So, or
Yeah.
hopefully the rest of the year. But anyway, okay, take care. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Sean. That was good. And catch you later on.
Good night, everyone.
Okay, take care.